He was born to a teenage mum. Nobody knew who his dad was. He grew up in a town in the middle of nowhere and worked in his stepdad's building business. Then, one day he left and never looked back. He became the biggest celebrity of his time. When he and his entourage rolled into town, literally thousands of men, women and children lined the streets, wanting just a glimpse of him. People even broke into houses to meet him. He was slammed by the people in power who accused him of excessive partying and inappropriate relationships with women, but no one could touch him. He was the people's hero, condemning the hypocrisy of the rich and standing up for the poor and oppressed, until the downfall. Public opinion turned. His friends deserted him, the people wanted rid of him, and he died alone, in shame and disgrace. It's a fantastic, thrilling story, but it's not found here. It's found here. It's the story of Jesus Christ, a man who lived for a relatively short time in Israel 2,000 years ago. A man who travelled no more than 100 miles from where he was born, but whose legacy is still felt today in our laws, our language, and every time December 25th comes around. Whether you think of him as a swear word, a sweet story, or the saviour of the world, Jesus Christ is here to stay. But who was he, really? Jesus. Did he look like this? Like this? Or like this? We don't know. No photos exist, but there are some things that can be known for sure, thanks to different historians and eyewitnesses who recorded what went on during Jesus' lifetime and the years immediately after. So, we know that he was born some 2,000 years ago in Bethlehem in modern-day Palestine. At 30, he became a Jewish rabbi, travelling around Israel and urging people to live a life that honoured God. People said that he was a miracle maker, one who saved a party by turning water into wine, laid on huge free picnics using a kid's lunchbox, and someone who could even stop a raging storm out at sea. Hundreds turned out to see him with their sick friends and relatives, believing he could heal them. The Gospels say that a few times he even brought the dead back to life. He had lots of followers, women as well as men, quite scandalous at the time, but opinion was divided. His teaching upset a few key people. At one point, he called the local religious community a hypocritical bunch of snakes. In the end, he was accused of stirring up the people, a capital offence, and he was executed by the Roman governor Pontius Pilate in Jerusalem, aged just 33. He was given the most gruesome death sentence the Romans could devise, stripped naked, tortured, nailed to a cross, and then left to die in the scorching midday sun. The end. Or was it? The earliest Christians were convinced Jesus didn't stay dead. Even though he was crucified in front of witnesses, they claimed that 3 days later his tomb was empty and he was seen alive and well by his closest friends and followers. They spread the word that Jesus was more than just a man, that he was the Messiah, the God-appointed leader of Israel, sent to make peace between God and humankind. And it was a belief that many of those early believers died for. So, Jesus, myth? No. Man? Certainly. God? You decide.